Hello everyone, and welcome to another review video on some My Little Pony figures. It's been a while since I've done a video like this, but it isn't very often that I actually get My Little Pony merchandise, although I am currently in the process of getting the DVDs and watching through them. Right now I only have the first 3 seasons on DVD right now, and I am watching through the third season, or re-watching it because I've seen them before on YouTube and Dailymotion and wherever you are able to watch the episodes from when they get uploaded. Although you can't really find full episodes on YouTube now because Hasbro does not want people watching the full episodes without purchasing them, and so that's pretty much why I'm getting the DVDs, so I can watch the full episodes. And I figured that it would be good since we are very close to the end of the series, because Season 9 has been announced as being the final season, and I think at the time of the recording of this video we are 2 weeks away from the premiere of Season 9. So when Season 9 begins, that pretty much means that we're starting to get close to the end. Kind of suspenseful on what exactly is going to happen. I did see a few of the previews, so I have some idea of what's going on, but I'm not going to be giving any spoilers in regards to what those trailers may have shown, because some of them right now could just be speculation, and it could be proven to be incorrect later on. But we'll know when the season actually comes out. So anyway, this is a set of 10 pony figures. And specifically, this is supposed to be a set of pony figures for the movie. There are 10 included here, which includes the main six, and the princesses, and Tempest Shadow, one of the villain characters from the movie. So I'm going to be looking at these each individually and giving you my thoughts on each one of them. For starters, here is Twilight Sparkle, or Princess Twilight Sparkle, as she is referred to by her full title now. Twilight has not been an Alicorn princess for as long as the rest of the princesses have, because she started out as an ordinary unicorn at the start of the series, and she remained as a unicorn all the way up to the end of Season 3. And from that point onwards, she has been in Alicorn. Now, of course, for fans that have been around, or fans that have been watching the show from the start, it probably was a huge change for this to happen, because they've known Twilight as being a unicorn for quite a long time. But for me, I was a little late in starting to watch the series. It was like a little before Season 3 started that I actually started watching the show. So, Unicorn Twilight was not that long-lived from my perspective. Although, I was a bit surprised when I heard the news that she was going to become an Alicorn princess. And there has been some wonder as to what she's going to be the princess of, and what's to come for her in later seasons. And she ended up becoming the Princess of Friendship around the end of Season 4. Well, that was her title, anyway. And for this figure, you can see that she is wearing a crown, although she does not always wear a crown. And I think she also has some sort of a necklace, although it's the same color as her body, so it's hard to tell. And she also is wearing special horseshoes, but she does not wear those all the time. It's not something that she wears regularly. Basically, from our perspective, she just gained wings. I mean, sure, she is a princess now, but she does not dress as a princess all the time. So that there is Princess Twilight Sparkle. Next up on the list is Pinkie Pie, the party pony of the group, of the main characters. And as her name implies, she has a pink body, and also has a pink tail, and a pink mane. And her cutie mark shows some balloons, which shows that she is good at throwing parties. Not sure if you can even see the balloons because of how bright it is, but if you can see them, good for you. Although it's kind of really hard for me to tell that the balloons are there on the camera. And of course, like with with most of the merchandising, they only have the cutie mark shown on one side. But in the show, it's shown on both sides. I really do not get that. Just showing the cutie mark off on one side of the flank, but not on both sides on the merchandise. Only in the show. So, she was pretty much the first of the ponies that Twilight had met when she first came to Ponyville. But Pinkie, when she saw her, she was just like, ah! And then she just zips off. But then we see her again, and it turns out that she just wanted to throw Twilight a welcome to Ponyville party. Although I wonder why she didn't throw a party. Well, I suppose she sort of threw a party for when Cranky Doodle Donkey came into the show, when he came into Ponyville in the episode A Friend Indeed. So, a pretty nice supporting character. Next up is Rainbow Dash, a Pegasus pony, and I think one of my personal favorites in the show. I just found her to be a pretty cool character, and having similar dreams to mine. And I also really like how she is, you know, has that rainbow mane and the rainbow tail. Although, something that I've noticed on this figure, she's got red and orange and yellow in her mane, and blue and green and purple on her tail. But in the show, I think it was rainbow in both places. She also has a cutie mark that shows a lightning bolt with a cloud on it. Just shows red, yellow, and blue. And she's called Rainbow Dash because she can zip by really quickly in the sky. Kind of wondering how she could compete with Sonic the Hedgehog because he's also a pretty fast character. And, you know, just wondering, do you think Rainbow Dash could outrun him, or could he outrun her? I'm not entirely certain about that. But anyway, that there is Rainbow Dash. Next up is Applejack, the one main character to be carried over from the first generation. All the other main characters were either debuted in either later generations or Generation 4. I'm not all that knowledgeable in regards to some of the other generations. It's pretty much the fourth generation that I am entirely familiar with. So I don't really know a lot about the other generations. I've just heard from other people that Applejack is the only main character, or at least the only main pony, to be carried over from the first generation. Because there's also Spike, who was carried over from Generation 1, but in regards to only ponies, Applejack is the only one of the main characters. And as her name implies, she has apples for her cutie mark. And no, don't move, camera. Did I give you permission to move? Let me answer that question for you. No, I did not. Sorry about that. My camera was being naughty again. Okay, so as I was saying, Applejack is a pony that works on the farm with her grandmother, Granny Smith, her brother, Big Macintosh, and her sister, Apple Bloom. And for quite some time in the show, there was some fans that were discussing about what could have happened to Applejack's parents, or why they are not in the show, or why they are not living with the Apple family presently. And, you know, it was a mystery for quite a long time, not knowing that much about Applejack's parents, but in Season 7, we actually do get an episode which talks about how they met, and, you know, getting to know a bit more about them. And, you know, also getting the implication that the story implies that they are no longer among the Apple family, or among the, you know, among life. Like, it's implied that they're dead now. As for the figure right here, well, she does look pretty good. Has the freckles on her face, which is very accurate to the show. But for some odd reason, this figure does not have her cowboy hat. I mean, Applejack is very often shown wearing a cowboy hat, but this figure here does not have one, which is quite unfortunate. But, you know, still a pretty good figure. Next up, we have Rarity, the white unicorn with the purple mane and the purple tail, who runs a boutique shop. She has a fashion for making clothes, and she is also the most beautiful among the main characters on the show. She is a very beautiful pony, so beautiful that Spike actually really likes her a lot, if you've seen the show. And her cutie mark shows 3 diamonds, just as she has on the show. And once again, there's nothing on the other side. She's a blank flank on this side, just like with all the rest of them. And I really like how her mane looks. It's very beautiful, and you can also see her horn right there. Really good that they were able to get that on. By the looks of it, I think that the mane itself could actually be painted, while the rest of the body is supposed to be its natural color. Just taking a white plastic, or whatever this is that they use to create the pony figures. That's what it looks like to me. Although, she is actually one of the more harder characters to draw in both human and pony form. Very difficult to draw her. Probably one of the more difficult to draw among any of the characters, at least from what I've tried anyway. So that right there is Rarity. On to the next one. Next up is Fluttershy, the shy member of the group, and I think she may be implied to be like the oldest member of the group, probably based around the episode where we find out the backstory of all the ponies and how they got their cutie marks. Fluttershy looked like she had much longer legs as a filly compared to the rest of them, which could imply that she is, in fact, the oldest. And there was an episode where Fluttershy confirmed that she was a year older than Pinkie Pie, although they all look to be about the same age, but that could maybe imply that Pinkie could be the youngest? That could be it. Fluttershy is a Pegasus pony, And although she is a Pegasus, she likes to spend most of her time on the ground. Although she does use her wings sometimes. I've seen in the show. Her cutie mark shows some butterflies because her talent is caring for animals. And she is a yellow pony with a pink mane and a pink tail. She just looks so cute with that face. So that right there is Fluttershy. Next up we have the three princesses, besides Twilight obviously. I'm looking at all of them together, all three of them together, because of how similar in looks they have, and how in this set they are very crystalline for some reason. I'm not quite sure why they are crystalline like this. So right here is Princess Celestia, the Princess of the Sun, and she's supposed to be a white pony. She is an alicorn. All of them are alicorns, by the way, which means that they have both wings and have a horn. And she has a sun for her cutie mark, which represents that she is able to raise the sun. And, well, in the actual show, her mane is supposed to be in a blue and green color, but here it's just all in a transparent purplish color. Does look pretty good, in my opinion. You know, just looking all crystalline like that. It probably would be nice if we could actually get, or if there was actually a, I'm not quite sure if there is, but a figure that actually looked more like in the show. Then here we have Princess Luna, the Princess of the Night, and the younger sister of Princess Celestia. She is also a bit crystalline. She's in this dark blue color. Now the odd bit about Princess Luna is that after the first season, or at least after the first episode of the first season, or rather the season premiere, because it was 2 episodes actually, we didn't see Princess Luna again until season 2, and we've been seeing her a lot more often in season, well, a lot more often after season 2. We've been seeing her appear. She appeared in Luna Eclipse, or Lunar Eclipse, where she showed up for the Nightmare Night party, which is what they call Halloween, by the way. And she's also had the ability to go into Pony's dreams, which, when that was first revealed in the 3rd season, did make us wonder as to how she was able to do that. And she'd been doing it a couple more times since then. And we actually got to see in Do Princesses Dream of Magic that how she was actually able to do it. She just used her magic to hook onto the pony's head so she could go into their dreams, which I find to be quite interesting. And of course, fans that have been watching the show for a long time know that she was formerly the evil Nightmare Moon, the first villain of the show to appear, and also the first villain to turn good. Because, you know, that all happened in the season premiere. And since she is the Princess of the Night, her cutie mark shows a moon, because that is what you see during the night. And she has the ability to raise the moon every night. And then, right here, we have Princess Cadance. She is, I think, the Princess of Love, or the Princess of the Crystal Empire, or something like that. Now, the story about Cadance, she was a character that was introduced in the Season 2 finale. she was the old full sitter of Twilight Sparkle, which was what made Twilight very excited because Cadance was getting married to Twilight's older brother, Shining Armor. And, you know, the whole story about Cadance in the special, like how it was revealed that she was actually being impersonated by the evil Queen Chrysalis, the queen of the changelings. I bet a lot of fans were a bit confused by the change in her behavior between the flashback and how she was in the present day. But then when part 2 of the special came around and we found out that she was actually replaced by an imposter, that was like, oh, that explains it. And in the show, Cadance was mostly pink with a bit of a, was it a purple mane? I think that it was a purple mane with some pink and yellow accents in her tail, but she's mostly crystalline in this instance right here. She's actually a bit more bluish than pink, at least from looking at her in person. And her cutie mark shows a heart, because I'm pretty sure that her talent is being able to bring those together, you know, people, or ponies rather, who are having an argument. She's the one that is able to mend their relationship. At least that was what I remember seeing from a flashback of her when she was full sitting for Twilight Sparkle. Lastly, here we have Tempest Shadow, one of the villain characters that appeared in the movie. She was quite an interesting villain to appear, you know, in the movie. And she is a pony with a purple body and dark pinkish red hair. And she's also wearing a Storm King outfit because she was working for the Storm King in the movie, because they had made a deal where if she could capture the princesses of Equestria, he could restore her horn because it was chipped off. And I'm not going to give that much detail for people who have not seen the movie. I know I've been giving detail about the show, but the movie is very big, and I think that I will just leave spoilers out of the movie. You know, just not speak about the movie or what happened around the end, because I feel like there are some people watching that probably have not seen the movie and would rather see the movie before, you know, before going and looking at spoilers. So, I'm just not gonna give any spoilers for the movie for those who haven't seen it. Here's a little comparison made between the ponies that are included in this set with some blind bag ponies. Like here I got Brayburn, Applejack's cousin, and, well, Brayburn looks like he's a little bit bigger than Applejack. Not a lot, but just slightly a bit. And, you know, I know it's because it would make sense because Brayburn is a stallion, and stallions are very often supposed to be much larger than mares, but even some of the other mare figures I have look to be just slightly bigger, at least looking at them from the head. So I just thought that I would make that little comparison there. Overall, I find this set of figures to be quite a good one. It's quite a shame that the show is going to be coming to an end soon, but we haven't started with the 9th season yet, and I'm pretty sure that there will be the yearly hiatus, just like we've been having over the years. So after the first 13 episodes, we're going to be taking a break, and then the episodes will resume after a couple of months, and then we can watch the rest of the episodes, and then that's it. that's pretty much the whole show now. I'm not quite sure exactly as to what they're going to be doing, like if they're going to still be doing a couple of shorts for a short while, like they had been doing a couple of short YouTube videos, whether that's with the ponies or with the Equestria Girls series. I guess we're just going to have to see. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this review video, and I will see you next time.